Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
Public safety, and public safety. Z, I had some deep thoughts tonight in preparation for the show, and I thought it's really hard for Americans to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness if we're not safe. I mean, it's really hard to enjoy a baseball game with your kids if you're not safe.
That's true.
It's hard to grow an optometry clinic if you're not safe. It's
True.
hard to develop safety equipment if you're not safe.
That's wow.
And so,
is that a devil's safety?
I mean, it's hard to do anything if you don't feel safe. It's on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's pretty essential there. And so on today's show, we have Mayor Craig Thurmond, a great American who makes me feel safe. Mayor
Can you
Craig,
come be our mayor in Tulsa? Would you give that some
please?
thought?
Can you do double time?
I'll buy a condo in Tulsa you can live in, so you can have residents there. So give it some thought. Just sidebar. Give it some thought.
So Mayor Craig, I want to ask you here, sir. You are now the mayor of Broken Arrow, but tell us about your military background before getting involved as the mayor of Broken Arrow.
Well, there was a lot of things. Yeah, I did serve in the Marine Corps, and I do believe it's important. And I've always felt that the number one charge of government, whether it's federal, state, or local level, is safety. And reason I ran for office, one reason I ran for office is I have an adopted daughter who's 15, was shot in the head, and Oklahoma doesn't have attempted murder law. So I went over to the Capitol and I lobbied for a law, and they named it after her, that if you discharge a firearm and commission a felony, you get 10 years mandatory. Her shooter got 2 years for assault with a dangerous weapon. So, it's been a big issue of mine. Public safety has been very important. And then I realized that Broken Arrow wasn't focused on public safety. And we need to be focused on public safety, and we need to fund public safety. 108% of our sales tax goes to public safety. So all the money that we get, we have to make up and run our government with other money. But the operational fund, public safety, is so important to us. And we spend around $67 million a year on public safety in Broken Arrow.
You said your 15-year-old daughter got shot?
Got shot in the head, yes. And she survived. Now, if she hadn't survived, there's a murder law. But there is no law if you attempt murder and you don't succeed. There's no law for that in Oklahoma. So there's no statute that you can be charged with. So they can charge you with shooting with intent to kill, assault with a dangerous weapon, but they can't charge you with attempted murder.
What were you even thinking when you discovered that your daughter got shot in the head?
Well, I didn't think she'd survive, and it was a miracle. I went to the hospital, and I remember that when she was in intensive care, and afterwards people told us that she was the sickest person in St. Francis Hospital at that time, and she survived. And many kids unfortunately passed away while we were in the pediatric intensive care. But on the third day, the doctor said, came to us and he said, Brandy's, what's going to happen is her brain's going to push to the other side of her head, and she's probably going to pass away. It's going to swell so much that she's going to pass away. And so you need to spend time with her. And so I went down to the chapel in St. Francis that night, and I prayed that not my will, but yours be done. But I want Brandy to survive, but your will needs to be done. And the next day, the doctor didn't talk to us, and I went to the nurse at the desk, and she said, well, the doctor didn't know what to tell you because he's never seen this before where someone's brain didn't swell. Wow. And he told us afterwards that he didn't survive her. It was a miracle she survived. But
praise Jesus.
Yes, it was a complete miracle. And I was able to witness a miracle, which not many people have that in their lifetime, that opportunity. But at that point, I realized that we need to do something. We couldn't have people shooting our kids in the street and think that was okay.
Some people, most people, are very good, kind people. I think the average person doesn't want to join Antifa. I don't think the average person wants to set things on fire, loot people, rob people. But they're dangerous, a lot of people, because we, when something bad happens like this, we don't get involved.
We don't.
So when something bad happens, we usually, as the human condition, is we sit back and say nothing and do nothing to avoid somebody saying anything. And see, you've seen this before, where it's where all tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for good people to say nothing and
do nothing.
Do nothing.
Right.
And again, think about that. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for good people, it's for people of good conscience to remain silent. And that is, unfortunately, when you do that, that allows the world to get more violent. So I want to ask you, sir, is what things are you doing as a matter of policy to make Broken Arrow more safe?
Well, it's very important that we fund our police department. I had someone send me an email that we need to defund the police, and my answer to that person was, the only way we're going to change the funding is we're going to increase the funding for the police. But we need to fund our police department. We need to give them what they need, the tools that they need. And we do have that, and we have proactive policing and community policing here. That's very important because you can't get behind the crime. You got to stay ahead of crime. So that's a lot of it, and public safety includes our fire service, our EMS. So we fund that completely. It's very important to show them support and give them what they need. When I was first elected to council, we had a mayor that said, well, we don't need more police officers because we have better people here. Well, we do have good people here, but we also have some bad people, and we do need police officers. We need what they need.
Yeah.
When I first got on the council, I started a group called Concerned Citizens for Broken Arrow, and we provided funding for things like throw bags because the fire department didn't have any way to pull anyone out of a pond that was drowning. So we provided throw bags. We got a ladder for our SWAT or SOT team so that they could go into a second story of a building.
Wow.
And the first time they used that ladder and were able to rescue someone, I got a letter from them thanking me for using that, for the ability to use that ladder, that the city wasn't providing that. And after we brought attention to that, all the equipment that the police and fire need are now provided by the city of Broken Arrow.
Mayor, that's an interesting concept. And what I want you to kind of think about right now is that which comes first, a safe environment or really good people?
Well,
one of the guys that came up to you and said, well, we don't need as much police because we've got really good people. But you don't have really good people if you don't have a safe environment, right? I mean, I see people leaving.
Right.
I mean, I know friends that are moving out of California, Oregon, businesses moving out. I mean, and people are getting away from the chaos, and they're wanting to come to places that are safe. So I commend you on having $67 million. Wow, that's a lot of money for your police force.
Yeah,
that's
police
pretty
and
cool.
Fire. That's
police and fire. Okay. Yeah.
And
you said it was 108%
of our sales tax.
of your sales tax.
Right.
Wow.
So where does the 8% come from?
Well, we have fees and fines.
Oh, okay.
The McGirt decision is affecting some of that, but we have fees and fines and permits and other things that we do that we raise money in other ways. So all of our operations comes from the only tax dollars that we really get are from sales tax in the state of Oklahoma. Right. Yeah. So we have fees and fines and other things that we get money from to be able to operate the rest of our government. Our legal department, our city manager's office, HR, all that is operated through other money.
Clay, you may find this hard to believe, but back when I was a teenager, I actually contributed to the fine portion of their 8%. I got a speeding ticket going through the great city of Broken Arrow back in the day, a long time ago.
Did you get?
I've turned from my ways.
Were you a fast driver as a young man?
And I wasn't that fast, but I mean,
were you a speed racer?
No. We were drag racing down Main Street. No, but when you say fees and fines, I brought back a little memory bubble popped in my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I've contributed to that fine portion of the 8%. So.
Speaking of driving fast and irresponsibly, I have a quick story I want to share with Mayor Craig Thurmond. This happened in Jinx, Dateline, this Sunday morning. I was at Quick Trip pumping gas at about 6 a.m.
Yep. I
went up to the office to grab some things. I got a Quick Trip. I'm pumping my gas. And see, when I'm pumping gas, you know what I'm doing? I'm not thinking about the gas pumping. I hit the thing. There's a little switch where it just pumps on its own.
I pump gas.
And I have mind freedom. I can look around and go, what other things are going on?
Yeah.
And I look towards the river, the bridge, and I see this vehicle, like an old truck, maybe a 1980s truck, the one that kind of, and it's coming down Riverside. It's going the wrong way though, coming towards the Quick Trip. Then it goes around the corner, and you can just hear it skidding, and there's sparks flying everywhere. Dude's driving the wrong way as fast as possible, wrong way on Riverside.
Wow. Okay.
And then I see the cops behind him, and I don't know what was happening. Nor was I curious to follow him and say, hey, guys, what's going on?
Can I help?
Because I knew that the Jinx police had it covered.
Mm-hmm.
I have been, though, in cities before where you see that kind of hoo-ha, and you don't see police behind it.
Correct.
Where you feel almost as a citizen, like, should I get involved? What should I do here?
Should I tackle someone?
So I think I think public safety also decreases this vigilanteism. Where good people are getting involved in things they shouldn't be involved in. You know what I mean? You see
taking
that.
a gun and protecting their own business. Yeah.
So I can't say enough positive things about Mayor Craig Thurmond for taking this approach to being pro-safety. But you have an election coming up here. When is the re-election, sir?
It's April 6th, 2021.
April when?
April 6th, 2021.
And the reason why we're doing these shows is because we want people to register to vote.
Yes.
Yes. Vote.
People, you have to register to vote. Okay, you have to. People died for your rights to vote. They died for these freedoms. So let's talk about it. Where can people register to vote there, Mayor Craig?
You can register to vote anywhere. The easiest thing is probably get online and just register online.
Okay, so I'm going to do it right now.
Tulsa County Election Board.
So I'm going to type in register to vote.
They can send you a ballot. Libraries have ballots. A lot of places have ballots. Have registrations that you can register for.
I go to okvote.org, and in less than 2 minutes, I can register to vote right now.
Right.
Do it.
You got to do it. If you don't do it, you lose it.
That's right.
You got to get registered to vote. And Mayor Craig, I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you taking the situation, which really could have caused you a lot of bitterness, but yet you chose it to be a source of betterness. It kind of motivated you to do something positive, and to impact the community in which we all live here. So I just want to say on behalf of the Thrive Time Show, man, thank you for standing up for what's right, and you'll be getting my vote, my friend.
Yeah. I think it's very important as people, we have so many things happen to us through our life, and it's how we deal with that is really defines us, whether we can be bitter and angry about it and not do anything, or we can try to make a difference in the world. And I think it's important to try and make a difference.
Amen to that.
I love freedom. I love Mayor Craig. Let's end this thing with a boom.
Let's do it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Boom.